Hi, Hayley here at hhwellness.com.au, and in today's blog I share 5 tips to help you become more self-aware. Hi, I'm Hayley and I help beautiful mamas tired from juggling kids, work and home life reconnect and rediscover who they are so they can live happy, hassle-free lives. Now, this month's blog is 5 tips to help you become more self-aware. So during this rediscovery process, which I've talked about for the last couple of months, if you haven't read or watched those videos, you can go back and do that now. So I was in the midst of depression. I was all foggy. After 3 kids, I had no idea who I was, what I wanted, how I was going to sort that out while traipsing around after 3 kids, right? It's really, really hard. You know, you're there, it's like foggy, there's a hurricane, it's all over the place. And for a long time, I just sort of was still and paralyzed. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get out of it. I was completely stuck. But then I started meditating and connecting a little bit more to myself. And slowly but surely, I started to connect to myself and started asking questions and started finding out what was in my way and healing that, and then being able to come out the other side, creating and designing my life how I wanted it to be and sort of making it hassle-free. And hassle-free isn't about the fact that it's just perfect all the time. Hassle-free comes from when something shows itself to you, when you get sort of an assignment, or, you know, when the drama starts to come in and things aren't quite going your way, you know how to heal it. You can go through this process so it brings out the least amount of drama, the least amount of disruption to your life and the life of your family. You can just work through it and move on as, you know, in as much as hassle-free as possible. So in the last one, like I said, we were talking, there's a part of it that's all about rediscovering who you are. And with rediscovering who you are, we need to really find self-awareness. We really need to be self-aware. And being self-aware is knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, how you usually handle your emotions. It's about being aware of your thoughts. It's about being aware of how you react to different people and situations in your life. It's about your motivations. It's about knowing how you act out and how you react to different things that are going on. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into self-awareness, I just really want to quickly go back to the first step of this rediscovery roadmap, this process, is that we really need to make sure that we're connecting. We really need to get to the core of who we are and what we want. We need to be connecting to who we are. And the best way to do that is through meditation. So the more that you can just sit and be still, even if it's just for 5 minutes, concentrate on your breathing, be aware of your energy, be aware of what's going on with your emotions, how you're feeling with your thoughts, what kind of a day you're having or what kind of a day you've had, you know, the better off, the more self-aware you're going to become, and the easier you're going to be able to go through this process to get out the other side. So please make sure, if you don't already, that you are starting some sort of meditation practice. And again, it doesn't have to be for a long time. Go back to my previous blogs. I do have a blog, I think it's 8 quick meditation techniques for busy mums. So go on there and have a look at what those quick techniques are. We don't need to be doing it constantly. Again, it's just making us aware, which brings us to the first tip for today, because it helps us to become more present. It helps us to come back to ourselves. So the first tip for self-awareness today is becoming mindful, being present and paying attention. So this world is so crazy. It's like everything is so fast-paced. Sorry, I've got a spot in the middle of my nose on the computer. It's really annoying. So, you know, this world is so fast-paced. Everything is gung-ho. We're up in the morning. There's kids everywhere. We're trying to get ready. We're trying to get them organised. We get them off to school. We get to work. That's all crazy. We get home. It's sport and it's dinner time, and bedtime's always a palaver because it's always such a surprise that you got to put your pajamas on and go to bed. So that creates a whole nother palaver, and it's crazy, crazy silly. And we tend to as well, because us mums like to be organised. We're not just thinking about what's going on today. What have I got to do for the weekend? What do I have to organise for that's going on, or that's going on? So we're always so far ahead of ourselves, or trying to be so far ahead of ourselves. So we really need to be present in our lives to become self-aware. We really need to start really engaging what's going on right now as we go through our day, instead of constantly thinking ahead or being somewhere else, Please do excuse me. And this is going to help us to really pay attention to how we're reacting to our emotions as we're going through something, to the thought process that we're having as we're going through something. The more that we're tapped into that and the more that we're present with that, the more we're paying attention to what is going on within us and not all the stuff that is going on outside of us, if that makes sense. So if we're moving too quickly and we're not really focused in on what's happening, we can fly off the handle at somebody, we can react too hastily and easily offend people, or we can say yes to something that we don't have time for. If we're talking to somebody but we're not quite 100% engaged in what's going on and present, instead of stopping and going, oh, hang on, it's Sunday. No, I think we've got this and this on Sunday, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. We just go, oh, yeah, no worries, yeah, we'll do that, that's fine. And then it's not until Sunday morning that you realise that you can't actually be there. So being present so that you can just stop, take a deep breath, practicing those mindful techniques like the meditation of the breathing, stopping, asking, then it's going to be a lot easier for us to really kick into this rediscovery, because that's what we want. We really want to get down to the root of who it is that we are and what we want right now in our lives. And this is a great way to kick that off. So that's the first one. Become mindful, be present, and pay attention to what's going on. And really listen and pay attention in conversations, especially with your kids. We tend to fob off our kids a lot without realising it. And so really being engaged in that when they're talking, because you know what it's like. I've got 3 kids, so I'll be talking to one and they'll be trying to explain this story to me and tell them what happened. But in this ear, there's like the other 2 kids are fighting and the dog's trying to get into the bin, and it's like you're not really always engaged in the conversation. So just being aware to do that, being mindful of when you're in a conversation, try and actually be in the conversation. And then as well, with stuff that's happening, you're paying attention to your thoughts and your feelings and how you're reacting and acting as things come up. So, how frustrated you're getting or angry you're getting. Frustration and anger are 2 massive words in my life. Massive words. Self-awareness. I know how frustrated and angry I constantly am. So number 2 is journaling. So this is the best way for us to actually start to see where patterns are, and the things that are showing up in our lives that are sort of like, to use a Gabby Bernstein word, those assignments that are coming up for us, because there'll be a pattern of, like for me, there's a pattern of anger and frustration, or there might be a pattern of a certain type of person coming into your life, a pattern of a certain type of partner coming into your life, a pattern with how your kids are talking to you or behaving around you. So journaling is a really great way to monitor that and to be able to reflect and look back and oh, hang on, this has happened like 3 times this month. Oh my God, I've reacted 3 times this exact same way in this conversation this month, or, in this situation this month. So journaling is a really, really good way to do that. So just sitting down, it doesn't have to be every day. You can do it once a week, and just sit down, take some deep breaths, and just reflect on what's been going on. When was I angry this week? What is there anything that happened at work that's sticking out to me this week? Is there anything that happened with the kids that's sticking out to me this week? And I'm not just talking about negative things. I'm talking about positive things as well, because you can look back and go, wow, on Wednesday, the kids were really amazing. What did we do? Oh, we went to the park and we had a really great family time together. Okay, well, when can I do that again this week? So that we can put that love and that happiness and keep that going in our lives, right? So, yeah. So in journaling too, you can also answer some, it doesn't have to be just reflection. We can sit down and actually do the self-discovery of, well, what do I want for my life? What do I want my retirement to look like? And as much as I think retirement's ages away, it's still going to be there. And what do I want to, that's something that you start sort of working out and preparing for now. So what do I want my retirement to be? Do I want to have time to and be healthy enough to look after my grandkids? Do I want to be traveling? Do I want to be doing whatever? And not just that, you can ask yourself, like a massive question, like what do I think my purpose is here? Why am I here on this planet? What is it that I have? We're all given a purpose. We're all here because we're so amazingly special and we've got something to offer. What do I think it is that I have to offer this world? What are my strengths? You know, what am I really, really good at? Am I good at connecting with people? Am I really organized? Can I help people with their organization? Am I really good at decorating? Am I really good at communicating with kids? Or, it's a really great time to, again, because it's this rediscovery process, just really sit down and learn about who you are and what it is that you want. So, after all that, so I've got a weekly journal page attached to this blog. So there's a weekly journal page and also a load of journal prompts that you can use. So if you're on the blog, go down to the bottom and you can click on that down there. If you're not on the blog, if you're on YouTube, I will put the link to the blog so you can go over and you can download that, because journaling is just an absolutely amazing way to, like I said, start that process and become a little bit more self-aware. So the next thing is, my next little tip is, don't judge yourself. No judgment, okay? So if you're finding something that's coming up and you're like, oh, my God, I keep doing that. Oh, my God, I'm such a horrible person. Like, I can't believe that I've been doing that. Forgiveness, self-forgiveness, self-compassion. I wrote a blog not long ago, 5 self-love tips that every woman should know. And there's a beautiful statement that you can use in there. It's a sort of a statement for self-compassion, so you and self-forgiveness. So when you get into that space, you can repeat it. It's adapted from the beautiful Gabby Bernstein as well. Love her. She's my total idol. So go and have a look at that, because as soon as we start judging ourselves on how we're thinking, how we're feeling, oh my God, why did I do that we lose that connection. We're not tuning in properly. And then we can't sort of sort that out. So we need to kind of almost look at it from a third person perspective. Look at it, okay, so if a friend of mine did this, what would I say to her? I'd say, oh my God, don't worry, it was a mistake. You're being too hard on yourself. Everybody makes mistakes. Take a deep breath. You know what's happened now, and now you have the power to change it. If we're not aware of what we're doing that's affecting our lives negatively, then we're not going to change it. So if you discover something, congratulate yourself. Oh my God, like how great is it that I've discovered that this is how I react in this situation, and now if I stop doing that, it's never going to happen again. Woo, woo. Like, be happy for yourself and proud of yourself that you've discovered that, instead of falling into that judgment of, oh my God, I'm a horrible person, or I'm an idiot, or how could I fall for that many times, or get out of that. Get out of it. It's not going to help you at all. At all. So, no judgment. Again, look at it from a third party perspective. Think of it as like more of a science experiment. You're looking, you're analysing, you're looking at the results, and you're finding a solution to the problem. Yeah? Try to detach just a little bit. So that's number 3, no judgment. Number 4, and this is one of the hardest things, is to be really honest. And again, this comes back to connecting, comes back to feeling, taking the time to tune in, feel your energy, feel your emotions, feel your thought process. Because if we're not being totally honest, if we're not getting right into here and being totally honest, this isn't going to work, yeah? If there's a problem in your marriage and you know it, you need to acknowledge it, and you need to be honest about how you're feeling about it. If there is a problem at work, if you are hating your job, instead of going, oh, it's okay, it's a job, I'm getting money, admit it. You hate it, you don't want to be there. As soon as you do that, you can go, right, well, how am I going to fix it? If we're just sort of glazing over the things that are going on and not being really honest about how we're feeling about things, we're not going to get anywhere. We can't move forward. And if you know that there's stuff, there's so many times when we know what the issue is. We know that there's been this trauma or this thing that's happened that we're holding on to, but we're not sort of acknowledging and being honest about that that's what the problem is. Yeah? So we need to start doing that. We need to start growing some grow some balls and sort it out, That's what we really need to do. So, yeah, being honest is really, really super important. You really need to trust your feelings. You need to trust yourself so that you can heal and let go. And when you do that, and when you start being really, really honest and stepping up and going and standing in that power, that's what it's about. It's not about ego and being like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But when you're standing in your power and being true, amazing things happen. Amazing things start to come about. Amazing things start to come into your life because you're being honest about it and you're positively changing your energy. You're positively moving forward and evolving. And that's what we want to do to be able to make our lives happy and hassle-free, right? Positivity. That's what it's all about. So the last thing is making sure that we're doing the healing. This is kind of like an after, but it's really, really important to mention that as we're going along and we're finding these things and we're becoming more self-aware and we're noticing where we could be kinder to ourselves, even if it is just about self-forgiveness, if it's about changing our thoughts because we're always, being down on ourselves with our thoughts, going, oh, you're stupid, you're an idiot, start the healing on that. Where is that coming from? Where is that core belief coming from? What do I have to heal in order to get over that so that I can move forward? Because if you want to open a business because you love your art and you want to sell your art and that's just what you want to do all the time, but you're up here going, oh, I'm not that good at it, nobody's going to buy it because it's crap, you're not going to get anywhere. So where is that coming from? Where is the core trauma or the core belief that's happened or that you've held on to that's stopping you from doing that? Because as soon as you imagine if that's what you want to do and it's just that one little thought that's in your way and you get rid of it, oh my goodness, you're going to be selling art all over the world. Just amazing things happen with that one time, getting rid of that one tiny little statement, because that one tiny little statement doesn't just affect your art situation, it affects how good you are as a parent, it affects how you are in your partnership, like your marriage or, your de facto, whatever situation that you're in. It stunts everything. So you imagine if you heal that and get that out of the way, oh my God, it's amazing. So get onto that. And you can, again, discover this stuff through journaling. You can heal through meditation. There are so many great healing meditations to clear guilt, to clear core beliefs and inner child work. You can talk to somebody like me, go and see a counsellor or have an energy healing. If you're in the Adelaide Hills area, I'll do all of that. So come find me and, book an appointment and we'll sort it out. So just make sure that you actively heal after that. And if you want any help or anything with that, just contact me and I can point you in the right direction of things that you can do for that. Because without the healing, we're not getting to the happy, hassle-free part. It just stops there. The healing is not the most important part, but it's a very important step. And if you don't heal, you can't move past it, yeah? And we want to, because we want to be happy, we want to be hassle-free, we want to be out of that fog and out of that hurricane of madness that we seem to be stuck in for a little while. So thank you so much for listening today. Let me just go back over those 5 things. So number 1 is becoming mindful, with being present and paying attention to conversations. Make sure you're listening, make sure you're in what's going on. Number 2 is getting that journal happening. Number 3 is making sure that you're not being judgmental. Be really kind and compassionate to yourself as you go through this work. Be honest with yourself. Make sure that you're connecting and tuning into how you're really, really feeling. And you don't have to tell everybody how you're feeling. You're the only person that has to know the truth. Yeah? Just because you've acknowledged that you're unhappy in something or that you're angry about something or frustrated about something, it doesn't mean you have to go telling everyone. You know, and you're going to work through it. Not everybody has to know. So that's no judgment. No, be honest. Let me start that again. 1, be mindful, present, pay attention. Number 2, journal. Number 3, no judgment. Number 4, be honest. And number 5, make sure you go through that healing process so that you can get out of the other side, because the other side is where the gold nuggets are. It's the thing at the end, the chest of gold at the end of the rainbow. So don't forget to grab your journal page and your journal prompts. You can grab that down the bottom of this blog, or if you're on YouTube, I will pop the link to the blog below. Also, you can visit the other blogs that I've mentioned today. So 8 meditation techniques for busy mums, and also the 5 self-love tips that every woman should know. Also on my website, hhwellness.com.au, there is a freebies page. So hop on there. There's so many freebies to help you. There's 21 days of happiness. If you subscribe, you can grab your free 10-minute relaxation meditation. There's all sorts of stuff on there. So please go and have a look. Again, if you need any help with anything, you can reach out to me via the contact page. You can DM me through Facebook. So just let me know. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can. Look forward to connecting with you soon. See ya.